Good morning. I'd like to welcome everyone to this meeting of the Logan County Commissioners. Today is November 7th, 2022. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. Please rise for flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Ben, and welcome. Let's see, we don't have any citizens desiring to be heard that have filled out the request to speak. We'll move on to item 4, open public hearing regarding the petition of High Point Properties LLC to place the section line between sections 33 and 34, Township 15 North, Range 1 West, also known as Hiawassee Road, beginning at Waterloo and extending north 2,605.2 feet into reserve section line status pursuant to Title 69, Chapter 1, Article 12, Section 1201. Is this your
Yes.
place?
Yes. Has that already been advertised for?
They are, that's why we're having a public hearing.
I'm Carter Pate. I'm here on behalf of High Point.
Please welcome, sir.
I assume that any comments from the public in relation to it, the commission would want to hear that. I assume, but to my knowledge, I don't know of anyone that, I have not been contacted by anyone about it.
So is anyone here for that?
No.
I'd recommend we close the public hearing.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second to close the public hearing. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right. So we'll move on to item 5, consideration possible action on order designating reserve section line for the section line between sections 33, 34, Township 15 North, Range 1 West, also known as Hiawassee Road, beginning at Waterloo Road, extending north 2,605.2 feet.
I guess you need a motion. I'll move that we approve.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the order. Any further discussion?
No, this is something we discussed last time, and so we're not abandoning it. We're just letting them utilize the right of way or easement. Right.
Okay. Any further discussion?
Thanks for the word.
Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Item 6, consideration and possible action on minutes of September 30th, 2022.
I'll move we approve as presented.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second to approve as presented. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously again. All right. Item 7, open sealed bid number 2023-12 for brush pumper uplift of 2022 Ford F550 for Woodcrest Fire Department. Consideration possible action to award said bid.
We received one bid from J&J Custom Fire. Woodcrest would ask if you would consider tabling until the 15th so they can review the bid. They're not here today.
I have no problem with that.
We could have tabled opening it until 15.
I think we better open it.
I think we have.
Want to guess? What's it gonna cost?
I got no clue what they're buying.
See, they're upfitting one Brush truck, brush pumper? Ooh.
They're turning a cab and chassis into a brush pumper.
$2 million.
No, it's gonna be 120.
Ooh. Total price, $78,542.
What a deal. I make a motion to table.
I'll second.
We will table until the 15th of the month. Okay, moving on. Thank you, Ben. All right, item 8, discussion and possible action to engage Timberlake Construction for construction management services for county 6-story project. And here's some information it's kind of a discussion with our district attorney. Yes, sir. Welcome back.
I brought more paperwork. I didn't know if that was adequate or not from the other one. As we mentioned, I'm Casey Loeb, Vice President of Operations for Timberlake Construction, also a Logan County resident. And on behalf of Timberlake, we would propose to do a building assessment, essentially a feasibility study for the 6-story building. That is listed in our proposal there, along with some writing of what that would all entail. We are on the list by the OMES, as mentioned in the email. And I'm not sure what other questions there are than from last week.
Kind of bring things around full circle again. What we've asked you to do is to bid on the management part of this. And one of the requirements is to be on the OMS list, and I think you've met that requirement as well. You've also put a cost for this service for the first part of it, right?
Yes, sir.
And that was for $18,000. Would you explain again
Sure.
what the county will receive for that from your
So the county will receive out of that, us as a construction manager working with, we have an architect and engineer who will be a part of this process. We'll go through the building, assess all the mechanical, electrical, and plumbing. That does not include structural. We'll go through, itemize that. We're mainly looking at this for building codes. There are some, maybe some concerns of what it will take to get this building up to code, to the standard current building code. Egress is a big part of that, with this only having one staircase in there. And along with that, we'll essentially modify all that, put all that in perspective of what the architect says, engineers say, how we bring this back up to code. We as construction manager will then put together some type of, pricing to say, hey, we think it'll be around this cost. We call it rough order of magnitude pricing to determine what it actually takes to bring this building up to code. And then we kind of sit down and discuss, is this valid to bring this up to code, or is there other options that would be, more bang for the buck? Our job, double job here. I'm a Logan County resident and part of the team here, is to find what's the best dollar amount the county can get best bang for their buck. Whether that's renovating this facility or finding another alternative solution.
Right, which the other alternative would be like to raise the building to the ground and put something else in.
That's correct. Yeah, we would kind of determine it after we come up with all the.
So in this $18,000 deal you're gonna do is kind of evaluation to see if it's worth fixing or tearing down, is that what you're saying?
Yes, we'll provide everybody with a narrative of explaining all the things that would need to be accommodated to bring it up to code. ADA accessible is another part of that, which means bringing the elevator up to code and other stuff to get that space into what we call a tenant white box finish out. Means it would just be sheetrock walls, one coat of paint. Then the tenants would take it on from that part. But the main discussion is getting it up to code with fire alarm, ADA, all the mechanical needs, the plumbing, bathrooms, accessibility, things like that. So it would be quite an undertaking to review.
How long would it take to do that?
We're guessing about 6 weeks, given we're rolling into the holiday season now, getting people coordinated and things like that. So I have people on staff right now ready to rock and roll.
Marvin, I don't know, I mean, I don't know if that's high or cheap, without hearing another proposal.
Well, yeah, the other proposal, I'm not sure we have another one.
I met with another company that's willing to give one, and they just couldn't be here today.
Right.
Is that Gordy?
But, I don't know if they would give a proposal or not.
Yeah.
I'm just assuming he would.
I've done a little research on them. And, well, a public forum's not the place to bash another company, but what we've got here with, I think with Timberlake is I believe it's a reasonable offer. I mean, $18,000 for to tell us what all has to be done to that building is whether or not it's viable or not to come up or down. This is step one that we would have to do with anybody. And yeah, maybe another company could do it for $17,000, but these folks have got a good background, a good reputation, and I don't have a problem making a motion to engage them with the contract, and I think I just did that.
Well, if you don't mind, Terry, I mean, you've been in this line of work, is this adequate? I mean, is this normally about what that would cost?
It is. If you break it down, you're looking at $3,000 a week. He's got a staff of people that he's going to put on it. I mean, when you consider wages, travel time, it sounds like a very good price to me.
I don't know, I'm not in that line of work, so.
But yes, absolutely, that's why we're engaging people that are in that line of work.
Right.
We've got to pay them to do it.
Did we not already do an assessment for plumbing and everything else? Is that not what was in our initial phase whenever you came on?
When I came on it, I was instructed to give a price to get the shell of the building up and running. Since then, you've hired a structural engineer and there's a report. I don't know if you've seen the report.
I don't think so.
It was about demoing interior walls and what has to stay and what
Okay.
can go.
Okay.
Basically, the elevator shaft, the restroom walls, the chase walls, and there's one wall on the south end that they're recommending to stay. He spells it all out in the report.
Okay.
It's a good report. And if y'all accept, I recommend you give a copy of that report to them
Yeah, absolutely.
so that they're not
Yeah.
double spending.
Right. So with that report, is that gonna help on this price?
We did not include structural in there. I had heard there was a report out there, but that was why I've not seen the report, but we didn't include it in there. I didn't want to double up.
Well, I guess that's what I wanna know is, are we better off to tear it down, or are we better off to try to fix it? Because my gut feeling tells me tear it down.
That would be our assessment to go through this process to determine that through the proper process, other than just making a decision on a whim. I think it's to the county's benefit to go through the process to determine that.
So this first contract, that's the only assessment we're gonna have is y'all's opinion of tearing it down or redoing it.
Correct. Once we get
And, yeah, what it would cost to get it ADA compliant versus
Yeah.
what it would cost to do something different.
And with each floor not having steps, ADA compliance is gonna be easy to do. Because you're demoing most of the walls in there anyway.
Say that again now.
Well, ADA, if you had different levels of floors, you'd have to have ramps and handrails. And being a flat floor,
Right.
about the only thing you're gonna have to do is have wide enough openings and doorways and
Right.
Make sure your restrooms
facilities
are-
and countertops and mirrors, which none of my estimate included finishing out anything anyway.
Right.
That's gonna have to be done whether it's a new building or an old building.
So we engaged Terry to make sure that, first of all, we had a budget that would support doing what we think we wanted to do with that building, if we could, to get it dried in and get it to the point where we could start renovating floor by floor. That was the original plan. And then, and we hired Terry because he's done a similar project down the road here, you know, at the old hospital, right? Pretty much exactly the same type of structure that we're dealing with here, which is, you know, why we brought him on, and he's done a good job, and the estimate that we got was to do just that, was to try it in and that sort of thing. But again, he's recommended that we hire a group
Right.
similar to this to take it to the next step, and I agree, which is why I made that.
So you made a motion, Marvin?
I did.
Yeah. So you're saying it could take 6 weeks for you to tell us if it's worth remodeling or just tearing it down and building
Yeah, by the
something?
time we get our architects, engineers, everybody involved, site visits, writing the reports, gathering up pricing.
Is there gonna be any further cost for those engineers to come in and do work outside of the 18,000 that we're looking at now?
The 18,000 is included for the review of it. If we said, yes, we want to proceed to the next level, and that would be going through the design phase, designing drawings, things like that, then that is another separate cost to the process. Once we
Right.
start into construction, design.
Okay.
I'll second.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Have a motion and a second on, to engage Timberlake Construction for construction management for a 6-story project. Any further discussion?
It'd just be for phase one.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
That's it.
Okay. Motion passes unanimously. You were quiet with your eye.
Mm-hmm. I was reading.
EYE. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you very much. We look forward to getting this started.
Yes, thank you.
We'll get you a copy of that evaluation. Oh, here you go. Right here, sir. From ZFI.
Oh, great, yes.
Good folks.
We've worked with them.
Yes, they're great guys.
All right, thank you guys.
We've had them come over and evaluate the floor of our courthouse up in
Okay,
the 3rd or 4th
Yeah.
floor.
very good. We're good partners with them. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, item 9, consideration of possible action on authorizing the county clerk to submit required documentation to the Department of Treasury for receipt of revenue sharing funds established by the Local Assistance and Tribal Consistency Fund.
So these are the TILT, payment in lieu of taxes funds that are part of ARPA, that have now come out. We qualify for a total of $100,000. It's in two $50,000 draws. I think I told you all about that here a couple weeks ago. I need to be able to be authorized. They do it all online, so I need authorization to go in and submit all the documentation.
I make my motion to authorize.
I'll second. Nope. Monica second. All right, I got a motion and a second. Any further discussion on,
What?
how do you pronounce that acronym? Go ahead, try that.
I don't know.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I just put what the paperwork said.
Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, ma'am. Item 10, consideration possible action on any new contract agreement with Omcorp LLC for postage machine in the election board.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second to approve postage machine. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Item 11, consideration of possible action on the resolution establishing 2023 county holidays.
There's gonna be 23 holidays?
2023 holidays. There are 2023 holidays. New Year's.
They line up with the state.
Yeah, except for this one.
Right.
Well, two.
Which,
89ers and Columbus Day. The state doesn't take Columbus.
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
I wanted to have,
Yeah.
wait a minute, November 10th is not Veterans Day. That's okay, it's Marine Corps' birthday. I'll have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Motion passes unanimously. You know we're having an employee dinner on the Marine Corps' birthday, right?
The 10th?
Yes.
Yeah, the day after my surgery.
You're not gonna be able to be there?
No, I have surgery Wednesday.
We'll bring you a dish. All right, item 13, consideration possible action on resolution accepting donation of one,
Sir, item 12.
item 12, consideration possible action. 2023 Board of County Commissioners regular meeting dates.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the dates. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, gentlemen. All right, now, item 13. Consideration possible action on resolution accepting donation of one female fox red Labrador Retriever puppy from Big Thunder Kennels to the Sheriff's Office for narcotics detection. So is the puppy, is already sniffing things out?
It is, whatever it can get its nose on. We were approached recently from Big Thunder Kennels regarding the possibility of accepting a donation from them for a drug detection dog. We've seen the puppy. It's AKC registered. Red lab. It's about 5 months old. We'll start training roughly around a year old. Between now and then, it's basically handler acclimation where it gets used to the person going to be handler. We have not selected somebody yet. We're going to go through that process. We haven't had a canine in the county for quite some time. This is a good opportunity to get one at no cost to us. Except maintenance, food, vet bills, stuff like that. I figured you'd volunteer for that job.
Want to retrieve ducks.
That should be when we put it on, I imagine.
If you tie a marijuana cigarette to the duck, it'll go out and get the.
We're seriously considering not doing that as a detection marijuana.
Right.
Just because we don't want to blow the dog's mind since it's everywhere. And with March 7th, the possibility of it becoming a legal across the board, that's something we're going to visit with other canine agencies and stuff to see if.
So y'all looking at true class 1 narcotics? then
Yes.
instead of- Yeah,
Marijuana, yeah, it's
yeah,
pointless at this point.
correct, yeah. All right.
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second to approve. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. So this won't be one for petting, this will be,
No, it's not going to be handler protection. It's not going to be aggressive.
Right.
It's gonna have passive alert, so it doesn't tear up vehicles or anything like that when it does alert. It's gonna be a dog that is gonna be very comfortable around kids, adults, and stuff like that.
Cool. Thanks, James. Appreciate
Yeah,
that.
I figured I'd stay up there another 14.
Yes, sir. I got one more for you. Item 14, consideration of possible action on authorizing the sheriff to submit grant application to AKC Reunite for funding of training of narcotics detection canines.
This is a grant that AKC Reunite has for drug canine dogs. Can receive up to $7,500. I think the total amount's going to be around $10,000 if we're awarded the grant. That's going to cover training, anything like that that has to do with getting the dog to a working dog status.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second. Have a motion and a second to approve the grant application. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
If you got questions, I want to make sure.
Aye.
I'll wait.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Someone will be able to sniff out donuts.
No, we can do that ourselves. We don't need the dog to do that.
What about drawn firearms?
Yes.
There's a joke there somewhere I missed. Okay. We won't pursue that right now. All right, item 15, consideration possible action on resolution appointing requisitioning officers for various accounts.
One for Langston Fire.
We have one for Langston. Bobby Anderson, Chief.
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second to approve. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Requisitioning officers are approved. Item 16, consideration possible action on receiving officers for various accounts.
One for Langston.
One for Langston again.
Same guy.
No. Not. That was a trick
I'm
question.
checking.
That was a trick question. I caught that. Real quick. No, they're not the same. So did we get a motion
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
there? I have a motion and a second to approve requisitioning officers, or receiving officers, excuse me. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Item 17, consideration possible action on consent agenda.
I don't have regular transfers, and I do have transfers from previous fiscal years.
I swear she puts those little sticks loose and you can lose these gutters. Right here.
Cash fund.
Yeah. How much was that?
37,251.
Not very much. tax wasn't really all that much this time either. Looked like. Ma'am?
Up and down.
Well, this is for the fire department, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but that's that's a third of a quarter of a cent. That's what we got to split three ways. If you look at it like that. We actually get more money from CERB money any more than we do from sales tax.
2 years left on that.
Sir?
2 years left on that?
I think it's next year comes up, maybe, if I remember
It
right.
seems like it was just yesterday sometimes.
I'm gonna go back
It was
and down.
2014 is when it was passed.
Crazy.
CERB or sales tax?
Sales tax.
Hopefully the CERB gets approved,
Well, the CERB's already approved,
like, the
There's no
increase.
sunset on the sorry.
not yet. I mean, but anytime they go into session, it could sunset.
But as it was passed that we're getting right now.
Right,
It was
exactly.
not a sunset.
Exactly, exactly.
I was talking about that, the increase, the cap. That they were talking about,
Yeah.
the new cap.
Well, that may happen this year. I've got a conversation with a certain senator we're going to have this week. Maybe it's next week. St. Patrick's Day, whatever it is. So, it's not St. Patrick's Day, but it's kind of how that sticks in my mind.
Library salary.
Let's sit down and line and get him fired up.
I'll be quiet today.
No, I doubt that. See that? Who are we paying to maintain the law library?
Mindy Reeves. Those weren't cash funds.
I didn't get to see what that was.
Well, you're welcome to see it.
No, I don't.
It's my copies of the actual.
The action.
What generates those?
Well, why can't we just initial that and get it over with?
No, doesn't work that way.
There's a spreadsheet over here with all that stuff on it. That's all I'm saying.
But it's not as broke down as that.
Is it broke up?
Like,
At least we don't have to sign all those.
Yes.
Again, still.
that's alcohol and beverage tax.
Ooh, 2 months alcohol beverage tax here. Ooh. All right. So, they're $2,000 each, different, right? So we've got one for 9/16 and one for 10/14.
26.3.
No, you're a little low. You're a little high. 24/7 for September, and October is 22/8.
I almost said 24.9, but I threw in inflation to go 26.3. Should stay with my gut.
Ponds are fixing to turn, it'll go up.
So inflation doesn't work that way. So it's like taxes. The more you tax something, the less you get of it, right? So if you raise cigarette taxes up to $100 a pack, how many packages do you think we're going to sell on the open market? A whole lot less than if they were $10 a pack.
Copper theft would go up, we still sell enough cigarettes that we could still do.
Right?
They're gonna get their cigarettes.
People have the booze though.
Yeah.
Same thing with, yeah, same thing with
Election
cigarettes.
board claims.
Collection board?
Election
Oh.
board secretary reimbursement.
This is just me?
Just you.
That's what it
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to approve consent agenda. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. There we are. Consent is done. Woo-hoo. All right, item 18, comments, announcements, questions by the Board of County Commissioners or other county officers and department heads. Stephen.
I just got one thing, the Logan County Hazard Mitigation Plan that I've been working on for
Yes,
the
sir.
last year, getting it updated.
Yes, sir.
I sent it off to the state for approval, it got approved, and now it's moving off to FEMA. So they said hopefully by the end of the year, we should have it back, and then I can bring it for a resolution for the county to accept it and go around to all the towns and cities that participated and have them accept it as well.
So, congratulations, sir. I want to give you a big hand for getting that done. What a job.
It was a
It
big,
hasn't been done forever.
it was a big job. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Did you want to say anything to that?
I better not.
Okay.
Thank you, Steve.
Yeah.
Sheriff, anything from you?
I don't have anything about this.
Ma'am?
No.
Mike?
I do. We met with DEQ the other day. I say we, it's Troy, Stephen, and Roscoe back there. It sounded like to me, you know, they just need the $800 before they have to close up, but
Right.
going off the recommendations of our DA, I think we need to do it. We got 2 years to do the plan, and I recommend we take the 2 years to do the plan. But they need the $800 right away.
Okay. Is it something that we need to put on an agenda to take action with a plan to do that, or?
I don't think we need action. I just think we gotta fill out a, Troy needs to fill out a,
Troy needs to do it?
yeah.
Okay, good.
We have to submit the
Wait a
notice
minute,
of.
you're finished. Your time's up.
Okay.
No, I'm not. Go
I'm
ahead.
so glad, no, you're gonna take on this.
No, not happening.
So the notice of intent is the NOI that we have to submit that says we will build this plan. It's a grand total of $850, I think, is what it is for that. The plan itself doesn't have to be finalized for 2 years. Essentially, what I took out of it, you guys can say if you got the same thing. This really involves about a 13 square miles out of the county. It's in what is the urbanized zone, and it's not contiguous. There's a piece here, a piece here, a piece here. The piece that is there now that I don't believe was there 3 years ago when this was started is that industrial and pine is now a piece of this outside the city limits. However, it really, if I understood where I think where we all agreed is it's going to, because we have no building permits or anything, people are out doing stuff we don't. I had that.
That would cost you donuts.
Placed.
So when someone files a plat, we will come up with a way that they have to verify they have their OK 10 permit with DEQ for moving the ground and that, and we drive by and take a look. So it's gonna come down to a lot of a see something, say something, and then the public awareness part of it. And it all, again, it's not the whole county, it's these very specified areas because of the population growth.
So, is your telephone traffic gonna pick up? That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, maybe.
Alright.
So that's where we are with moving that forward. I haven't started the NOI yet. I will get it started.
I asked him what we was gonna get for $800, so we can tell the taxpayer what we're giving them. We're not sure that
Well, that's
clean our water.
Really?
That was.
They use that one? Cleaner air too.
So that's all I had.
Thanks, sir.
I've got nothing.
Okay. I just got one thing, and not to bust your bubble, but kind of follow up on the survey team that we need to get a survey out at Meridian. If I've got a survey crew that's been pretty responsive to us. It's about having them have time to come out so I can engage one to come out and help us.
Okay. Yeah.
Would that be all right, Molly?
Heck, yeah,
All right.
I need to get it done.
All right, so we'll work on that. We've already talked about engaging a survey team from the county to do that. We've already approved that, so I don't think we're outside.
Did he ever get a hold of you?
He.
Yeah, I can hear it.
Okay, so with that, we'll move on to item 19, consideration of possible action on adjournment.
I'll move where.
I'll second.
Have a motion and second to adjourn. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned.